Hello everyone and welcome back to the vlog. Hope you all are doing great and keeping healthy. Today's vlog is about Boeing 777 FMC. So let's get started. We have two FMCs, FMC left and right on the 777 with three CDUs, control display units installed, one in the center and one on either side. So this is a CDU on the left hand side, captain's side. We can see there are line select keys on both sides of the displays. 6 keys starting from top to bottom. Number 1, 2, 6. So one on the top left hand side is called L1. We say the side first and then the number. So L1 would be this one on the left top side. Similarly, in the right hand side bottommost is called R6. These are the line select keys. FMC is connected to the CDU and is available, as we can see the prompt of the FMC. If the FMC is on the ICAS and not here, means there's a dual FMC failure and FMC is not available. Single FMC failure scenarios are also there, in which ICAS would be FMC message, and on the menu timeout reselect will be there, and you can connect the FMC to the CDU to the FMC then in that case. So right now the FMC is available. So let's start with the ident page first, since this is the menu page. There are EFS and DSP options also on this page. In case those panel goes bad, you can control that with this. So Mr. DVD, we check on the ident page, that is model, rating, date, version, and the drag factor as given on the flight plan. See performance 3.4 on the bottom right. 3.4 is checked with the flight plan. So there's a magic button which leads us to approach ref unit reflection all the time in flight. So ident page, we check Mr. DVD, model, rating on the right, date, always active date, and there's an overlapping date so that the aircraft is always flying with a valid database. Version is V17 Charlie, and the drag we checked as per the flight plan. So that is checked. And then next page is position page, having 3 pages on it. So we set the GPS position in the boxes on ground in the initial position. Second page is all the sensors, FMC, inertial, GPS, and the third page is GPS and the FMC. FMC left is the primary, as we can see on the L3 key, and the GPS is on. If required, you can switch off the GPS at some stations which are not in the database of WGS84 in Chinese airport in China. So right now the GPS is there, as you can see the green next to the viewer. Yeah, that's the GPS is on. So generally we don't touch this. So that's how the position reference page looks like. You can manipulate the pages. You can go up and down by previous or next page, either ways. And then the next page is route page, which we are supposed to fill. Whenever you hit the route page, it shows the route page only. That is the second page onwards. That is the route, where the route is fed. To go to the first page, you always need to press the previous page. So we hit the previous page, and here we are on the route 1 page. So we can see the origin and destination and the flight number is set. These things you have to put in all the time in pre-flight. They don't come in when you request the route from the company. Only route comes. Also, the company is not going to send you any departure SID or any star arrival. The company is going to send you only the route en route. So 4 pages are there right now. And there's a route request option on the left hand side, L3 key, and the route copy on the R4 key. Once you're done setting the route, cross check the distance on the progress page, you can copy the route. So after cross checking that the route distance looks correct, plus minus 50 nautical miles is approximately okay. Anything more than that, you got to cross check that. And we have another route on this, that is route 2, where we have copied route 1, which is the inactive, the blue color. There are 2 route options on the Boeing 777 FMC to facilitate any last minute diversion or any en route changes like HLA and Atlantic and all, to save last minute time. So that blue dash line is the route 2, which is inactive right now. The active one is the magenta pink line. If you execute the route 2, the blue one becomes the active magenta color. So this is how it looks like. The route 2 always shows the full route, irrespective of the phase of the flight. From departure to destination, it always shows the full route. So we hit route 1 again, and we come out of route 2 at L6. If you press route 1, the route 2 is stored in the database, and we are on the route 1 again. I'll just show you. So now we are at route 1. As you can see, the blue line is gone, and the top heading of the FMC says active route 1. And before requesting the route from the company in pre-flight, I'll just show you the procedure how it is requested. So go to communications, company, re-auto initialization, tail number and the date, send it. Once it gets sent, make sure it is the center VHF panel is on data. Once it is sent, you can request on the route page then. So ident page is done, position page is done, route is done. So performance. So cruise altitude as per the flight plan, cost index as per the flight plan, default value in small font -37, fuel temperature being Boeing airplane, jet A fuel -40 plus 3 -37. Cruise is already default set. Step size RVSM 2000. You can make it 0 or 4000 as IQ. Reserve is MDF 9.7, alternate plus hold. Then we go to thrust limit page. Climb 1, climb 2, climb 1 10%, climb 2 20% derate respectively. And then we go to takeoff page. Page 1. We fill this later. We fill page number 2 first, because if we fill this first and make any changes on page 2, the speeds will be deleted on the one. So fill page 2 first. Select dry as default on the L5. If you make that wet, the speeds will be deleted if you have already fed that first. Thrust friction acceleration on the right hand side and reference OAT. So fill this page number 2 first, and then we go to previous page, that is page number 1. And then we select, after doing the OPT, we confirm the speeds from the OPT, which is the improvised speed, improved climb. And then we go to nav data page, just to check it is off. So inhibition on the R6, so we make that on. Since the GPS will be working, so it has to be on. We can switch the inhibition to off, like no inhibition in case it's off. So the radio update is from the DME, the VOR. If the GPS is not available, then we do that. So right now it is on because the GPS is available. I'll just show you. So GPS is the most accurate. So inhibition is on, means it is active. So we don't want any update from the DME. So see, there's a GPS, green color GPS, and the ANP is good, actual navigation performance. So if you lose the GPS, where there are areas in Russia and other places where there are GPS masking and GPS goes off, no signal, and so we turn the DME update on by putting the inhibition to off. And then we press the magic button in ref. It leads us to the approach ref page always, and we check the route, 4 pages. So I'm trying to cover all the buttons on the CDU from left to right. Coming to departure arrivals, the arrival starts with the precision runways, ILS, then localizer, downgrading all the way to the non-precision approaches, and eventually, ultimately, to the single runways only option, that is a visual. So the most precise approach available for that airport will be the first option. Select the runway, and then you get the affected status star for that runway. This is a typical example of a DME arc in Bangalore. I selected ILS 27 left. So D means the DME on the right hand side, and 028 is the radial. Sierra is the DME, which is the 19th alphabet. So 19 mile you start, and 17 mile will be the DME arc. That is the Quebec. Into 5, multiple of 5. So Sierra is 20 minus 1. 5 was a 20 is Tango, and minus 1 is Sierra. So that is 19 mile you starting. 2 miles goes in the curve of the joining of the arc, so 17 mile arc is there. So D means DME, radial 028, that is the northeast. Similarly, we have the 310, that is the northwest. Radial you're joining into that station, and Sierra is the DME distance, which is represented by the alphabet if you want to do a DME arc into any station. And you check that on the plan mode, like how you are approaching towards a station to do the DME arc in case it is required to be done. So depth arrival is there. Any other airport you want to look for, you see the R6 and the L6 key. Route 1, Route 2 pages were there, departure arrival, and then this is the alternate page for a direct diversion. It is there. This is how we divert. The options are direct, offset, overhead, and the fuel remaining at the diversion airport. There's a divert now option also available. There are 4 pages to it, 3, 4. each page for each airport selected. Auto selected the small ones, Helsinki at the bottom left, EFHK is manually selected, it's the bigger font. VNAV page, since it's the cruise phase of the flight, so it shows the active cruise. We got optimum, maximum, recommended. The climb is not active, so it's empty. Cruise, and then we go to descent page. This is how the display looks like. Speed and VNAV path, speed, heading, altitude, and we are cruising right now. Heading is so and so, altitude is 35,000 feet, flight level 357. So it is magenta, everything is active, is magenta, actual is white. That's the descent page and the forecast page. Select the forecast page, put in the transition level in there for the destination, and request the winds for the descent from dispatch. Winds comes every after 6 hours, 4 times in a UTC day. 3:45, 9:45, 15:45 and 21:45 Zulu. So that's the optimum, max and recommended. Recommended caters winds, optimum doesn't. It only varies with the nil wind and the weight of the airplane. That's a fix. We got 4 fixed pages on the FMS. You may use it to your convenience, like creating the MSA for departure or destination. There's a Lex page, currently showing 9 pages are there with active magenta point, Milso. That's the holding. And yeah, you can go to any page by selecting previous and next page, and go to hold page. The hold page, once selected, will always show you the published missed approach procedure. And on the Lex page, you can check the sequence with the plan mode, and the step will appear on the center, will appear there, and the step will appear on the R6 key. Keep pressing the step and the flight progresses on the plan page with the north up mode. The weather won't show in this because you're seeing the progression of the flight and not the actual position of the aircraft. And that's how you can check on the plan mode your standard instrument departure, your route, as well as your standard terminal arrival star, that which sector you are approaching any station. To like it this way, I can say the northwest sector aircraft is going to approach into the destination, and you can plan your star accordingly. Your altitude, your speed, you can cross check. That's how you can set. So range you can increase or decrease. You can see approaching from the northwest, going southbound, crossing the extended center line of the runway, which is dashed white line, which is approximately 14.2 nautical miles long. Reducing the range to show it clearly. So that's the extended white line of the selected runway. So going down southbound, then downwind, and then the approach. Data removed on the EFIS, so time won't be shown now. If you want to know the timings and the other constraints of that particular waypoint, the data for that waypoint should be on the EFIS. So this is a very good helping aid. White line, extended dashed line of the runway helps in non-precision approaches and telling you, it will let you know the offset, like which side you need to correct on the VOR. So that's the hold page. Like I said, first page will be the active, sorry, not active, but it will show you the published holding or the missed approach. So if you want any other holding than that, go to next hold. Present position also we can hold. And this is how the race course pattern will look like, holding pattern. Right hand side, present position. And if you want to change the direction from right to left, just type in /Lima and put it there. The direction will be changed. So -L, and right to left it happens. So this is the holding. And if you want to do the say circling orbit, if you've been asked orbit present position, to make a circle, put decimal 1 into like distance, and the race course will change to circle orbit position. That's how you do it. And on the legs page, if any hold and all is selected, it will be shown on the legs page. Like I have not executed anything, but if I go to legs page, on the top side it says hold at, so that means hold is active. I have not executed yet. You can exit that by repositioning the sequence, resequencing the legs page, any waypoint on top of the hold page, or exit hold. So that's the progress page now. 4 pages, overall progress, fuel used in the center, and remaining, and the totalizer on the left, which is reflected on the upper center display also, and the calculator on the right hand side. Most of the time we select totalizer only, as it lets you know clearly if there is any fuel leak. Progress page, RTA page 3, that is the required time of arrival to any waypoint. Right now Milso is the active waypoint. So say if you've been asked to reach to any waypoint with any restriction of timings that you are supposed to reach so and so time, this and that. So like right now Milso is the active waypoint. Let me show you how I can change the time for Milso, the required time of arrival. See, Milso is the active waypoint showing at 0313. So you've been asked to reach Milso at 0314, delay by 1 minute. So you need to slow down the plane. So we put Milso there and we put time 0314. And she'll give me the revised speed for the revised time of arrival, that is the required time of arrival, decimal 81. Initially she was maintaining decimal 83, so she's losing decimal 02 Mach, reducing speed by decimal 02. Right now it is 83, so she needs to maintain decimal 80781 to reach Milso by 1 minute late. So that's how you use the required time of arrival. Then the RNP on the 4th page. EFS panel, DSP panel options are there, alternates are here on the menu page. If the EFS panel or the DSP panel, display select panel, goes bad, so you can make selection from your FMC also by turning them on. And that's the maintenance info display option on the R5. Nav radio, there are no conventional dials and windows to select the courses on this airplane, so only you can do through this nav radio page by selecting the courses on the window and all. ILS will be tuned automatically, ILS in the course, and that's how you change the brightness of the display. And that's the progress page. Position report, there's a page to it. You just read left to right, top to bottom directly. Position reference will lead you to the same page which we discussed initially, 3 pages. Primary is the FMC, and that's how it is. The legs page again, route data, go to the winds and you can request the winds from the company. 4 levels you can feed in it ref. So that's the current weight, gross weight of the airplane. If you need to put in the landing weight, so we go to progress page to select the flaps. But for the landing flap selection, you need to have a landing weight. For that, we go to landing fuel check, 14.5 in Delhi. That will be the landing fuel, and zero fuel weight. Add that to the zero fuel weight, 14.5 plus 220.1. That is 234.6. So we hit the init ref button, magic button again to go to the approach ref. So we change the weight to 234.6. That will be the landing weight, and we got that by adding zero fuel weight with the landing fuel. And then we select flaps, say 30. So VREF is 144, and on the MCP we add plus 5 knots minimum to get the V approach. So that is selected. V reference is flaps 30 is 144, and immediately we select the auto brakes by cross checking with the OPT. The automatic braking is selected after we select this. This is how the center CDU looks like. There is no FMC, as you may have noticed, since there is no FMC in the center CDU. So door call is from here, ground call is also from here. There is no button for it separate. Directory is here. Important numbers which may come handy at the time of diversion, different stations, ATCs and the company. Through the SATCOM you may call. See the directory. There are 4 pages. Category 1 through 4. Each category will have multiple pages with a multiple number. Any individual number you want to dial, you just go to the numbers and dial it here, and you can dial that number and you receive you hear from the voice, and you talk through the black button. That's the transmitter. I hope you find this clip useful. Thanks for watching and take care.